workshop under the Patliputra Swadhyaya complex. And my topic for today's webinar is the P factor in the teaching learning process. So when I was actually working on this slide, the P factor, many of the teachers and my own, you can say, admin people, they were talking about what you understand by this P factor, what exactly you wanted to convey to the people. So this P factor is basically the parent factor. So this is completely a new topic which I'm taking, and hopefully this is going to help all of us at the end of the session, that why I have selected this subject and topic. So once again, I welcome all my friends, educators, teachers, principals on this workshop. So let's go with the slide number 1. Yes. So as I said, the P factor, that means the parent factor in the teaching learning process. So this is the topic of my day. And I wanted to go with the parent factor. The reason is last 2 years of the COVID time, then post-COVID scenario, pre-COVID scenario, basically all schools across the country, and especially the schools of Bihar, we have been facing one major problem. Like despite of working so hard, all teachers, all admin people, all principals, and all directors, they have been working day and night quite hard to make their school best. I haven't seen any person right now or any school who wanted to spoil the things. That means we all are under doing the construction and we wanted my child to shine. Maybe in some cases we have some constraints, the constraints of maybe the facilities, the constraints of fund, the constraint of the maybe the salary what we are providing to teachers. But still, I haven't met any school owner who don't want their school to do better. So ये सब मिल करके we are actually working so that the school should be number one and students should get what they are expected. But in the all the things, what at the end of the day we find, hardly we get sometimes appreciation from the parent side. Parents, we keep on working, but still many parents, they are not happy. To the extent that now what has happened during the COVID period, many parents, they have received the phone numbers of the teachers. So they are directly connected with the teachers and they try to sometimes be very rude with the teachers. They make calls to the schools, try to put all their grievances. But what I see that sharing the grievances or sharing the shortfalls is correct. But accusing teacher and not evaluating the process means the problem is a problem. Before the teacher is accused, I think anyone and everyone has to go through what exactly is the problem. And then you can discuss it with the concerned authorities or the teachers, not as a complaint, but as a concern. I don't think anyone feel offended. But largely it is not happening. And I think that many of us will agree with this one also. And the worst part of that is many parents they discuss everything in front of the child. They sit with the child and they try to listen the criticism the child is making in a fun manner and appreciate their child. They boost around, they discuss it with their friends, and then such things are actually done. This is very disturbing. That is the reason I have taken this topic, that is the P factor in the teaching learning factor process. That is the parent factor. So, dear friends, now we'll be going with the slides number 2. Now, as a teacher or as a human being in the society, or you as a parent also, you will realize the learning process begins before the birth of the child and continues till the life ends. So this is the process what we are starting a journey. The moment the child actually pre-birth scenario itself, in the fetus stage itself, the learning process starts. Now, many of us will raise the question that how we get to know that the learning process starts over there. So the moment the development of brain starts in a biological term, the learning process starts because the the brain formation of brain and the storage of, you can say, the different you can say the features in the brain starts functioning immediately after the formation of brain, and the brain do not stop its development post birth scenario of a child. So the learning process begins before the birth of child and continues till the life ends. This is the key role. Now from here we are going to take the session. So this is just the introduction. Now shall we go for the next slide? Thank you. So the P factor, that is the parent factor, therefore plays an important role in the process of teaching and learning mechanism. और इसी वजह से क्या होता है, because when the child is not born from the fetus period itself, when the learning starts, so how the parents, mother and father, they are behaving, what type of food they are having, what type of culture they are having, what type of language they are using, whether the environment in which the child is being groomed is positive environment or is a negative environment. So everything depends on, you can say, the environment. And therefore, the parent factor, that is the parent factor, therefore, plays an important role in the process of learning and teaching mechanism. We should go for the next slide now. Okay. Now, this is the main, you can say, the body of the entire presentation. So, the parent factors are divided into three major groups. Now, three major groups, what we are talking about. One is we have a biological parent. Number two, we consider the foster parents. And number three, we have the role model parent. So one by one, I'll be describing you all this. So when we are talking about the biological parent, so let us see the topic teaching and learning mechanism. है ना? Teaching and learning mechanism में what is the role of the biological parents? So if the parent of a child is, number one, coming from a good background, number two, they are physically and mentally sound, number three, they are learned, educated, in that case, you have minimum chances of getting the thing in a negative side. Because I'm 100% sure that when we are talking about the teachers and educators, those who are attending this workshop, whenever you have attended the PTM, with a similar mistake, the different parents will have the different logic, reaction, and understanding. I have seen personally, like right now, suppose we are having the PTM, and anywhere we are having PTM, if a child 5 marks are cut out of 100, one parent will come and say, okay, koi baat nahi, 5 number hai, I know that you are working hard and you will achieve this one next exam. This is one reaction. The second type of parents will start scolding the child from the you can say the desk itself. And they will not only scold the child, वो इतने चिल्लाएंगे और इतने वहां पर एक्शन करेंगे. Actually, this is not for only child, this is for the teacher also, to make you understand that where you have failed. And many teachers, they keep quiet because they don't have any option left. Because if you react, the parents will go to the principal and will complain about your behavior, that you have been rude. They never project their problems. They never project what they have done. But the reaction, and again that reaction, whatever is your action, will be put in front of the management as their reaction. ये बहुत problematic issues होते हैं. And therefore, what I feel, that biological parents, this is one criteria that holds a very important role whenever we are trying to say the P factor in the learning process. So education is important, and in the learning process, the biological parent, if they are good parent, we need to understand that they will be actually motivating child in all scenarios. We also say that biological parents is another key factor because we cannot change them. We cannot say that no, your parent is wrong. So this time you kindly next time you bring another parent. So biological parents are certain, and that cannot be changed. So in this case, what happens? It is we who have to be ready for the counseling sessions, how we can go ahead with, you can say, dealing with the parents and all that. So this is important from our point of view. Second one, we are also talking about the foster parent. तो foster parents कौन है? जैसे foster parent could be anyone, like I'm not talking about like anyone who is acting like a parent, or like a teacher himself. So a child who's been taught, his or her class teacher can be a foster parent, a subject teacher can be a foster parent, uh, physical education teachers can be a foster teacher, a parent. So anyone in the campus who gives emotional support and binding to the child, they act like a foster parent. And the role of the foster parent is the primary, you can say, role for the teaching and learning process. Now I'll give you example. I remember my days when I was teaching in Sainik School, Nalanda. There I was also working as a hostel in charge, one house, Mahavira. We had 50 students, and many of us here also, you may be working in a schools, which is a boarding school. The boarding schools, the binding of the teacher and the student is found to be very beautiful. The reason is the child stays inside the campus 24 into 7, and so the teachers. So what happened? The teacher is the main factor who has more influence on the child rather than anyone else, because you don't have relatives there, you don't have parents there, you don't have any other influential factor, and they don't have the mobiles also in the hostels. It is not allowed, so that the child can focus completely on the instructions given by the teacher. Now, if the teacher is good, and if the teacher is standing with the child when the child needs utmost care, especially when the child is not well, he's emotionally very high because he or she is not well. Number two, when the child is not performing, and then the teacher comes and pat the child, gives support to the student. The child not eating properly, and the teacher is coming over there, and then they are giving all this, that you need to eat food, proper food, and all that. So that support I'm talking about, the emotional support. So when the teacher is coming in such schools like an emotional force, they are taken as a foster parents. So in that case, the child has got a lot of expectations from the teacher. So the teacher, but in the regular schools like ours, which is maybe in some cases maybe day boarding, some cases completely day scholar school, we have the concept of mother teacher. So the role of mother teacher and the role of the teachers, those in charges of the houses, the in charges of, you can say, the academics, they are expected to do the role of a foster parent. So this is what I think that we need to understand. Now, role model parent in the society, in the vicinity, you may have anyone among us who can be a role model for a child as a parent. And such people plays a vital role in shaping the future of the child. So for the teaching and learning process, these role model parents also play important role. So I repeat here, we have three types of parents who play an important role in teaching learning process. One is, as I said, biological parent. The biological parents are, as I said, they are fixed by the God. They have given birth to the child, and they have given with the birth their own DNA to the students. So these DNA cannot be changed. So habits cannot be changed. Perceptions cannot be changed. And the only thing that we can expect in such cases, the parents themselves gives them a good learning, good moral values. They can inculcate the few good things which will help the child to go ahead. Now, please don't slide, just a little bit down. Now, yes, thank you. Next one is the role of parent for toddlers. Now, among when we talk about the all three groups, जो हम लोगों ने अभी देखा, all three groups, one is the biological parent, the second one we are talking about this foster parents, and the third one we talk about anyone in the society who is taking as a role of the parent. For all these three, the role of parent for toddlers, इनका क्या role है, where they are going to play an important role in shaping the future of the child is divided into another three parts. So these three taking another three. So first is toddlers, that is 0 to 3 years of age. Now, first is all these three coming together and they are taking care of the child. Now, between 0 to 3, taking care means you are actually caring about the child. You are expected to do the work of nursing also for the child. You are nurturing, you are nursing the child and nurturing the child. Health and hygiene is another important issue. जैसे हम बच्चों को सिखाते हैं नाखून काटो, बाल साफ करो, नाक साफ करो, कान साफ करो. तो ये जो छोटे बच्चे होते हैं इनको we are teaching their parents also, mother also, people those who are taking care, that what we can do to the child to make the child or to keep the child healthy and firm. उनकी अच्छी खाना, न्यूट्रिशन, डाइट, उनकी चार्ट्स बनाना, उनको love, affection and care. So love, providing them love, affection, care is also very big thing, because unfortunately what is happening again in India, that most of the parents, young parents I'm talking about, they are having one or two child. The concept of mama, mami, chacha, chachi, masi, mosa is slowly, bua, it's all been vanishing from the society. So the new generation parents, they are giving by default this concept to the child that the family stands for mother, father, and you. There is no space for fourth one. And this is happening by default. So as a result, what is happening? When the child is growing, the, the question of adjustability is not there. The child is not ready to accept anyone else in this close, tight circle of mother, father, and child. They are not allowing any human being to get in but they can allow the pets to get in. They prefer to keep maybe a small pets like dog, parrot, maybe something like that, cat, and will deal them with lot of affection. But there's no room for anyone coming from other, you can say, you can say distant relative or from the relative area to their family. They're not welcomed. To the extent, many of the cases you will find, if the child is visiting your home, you may be comfortable, but your child immediately starts feeling uncomfortable because they don't want to share their comfort zone. They don't want to share their space. They don't want to share their things, goods, and food with the visitors. To the extent that in many cases, even the grandparents become guests for many. ये problem है. The role of parents is very important for the toddler. So you have to take care of the child. You need to see the nursing of the child. Health and hygiene needs to be equally taken care. Food and nutrition, because you need a healthy child to grow. And love, affection, and care is again will shape the child into, you can say, to be a good human being. This is what we are trying to do, and ultimately the product will depends on the three types of parents what we talked about, how they are grooming, how they are taking care, how they are nursing, how they are nurturing the child, how they are taking the health and hygiene. All this is depending on the three types of parents. Now let's go for the next slide. Yes. Now this is the role of parent. अगर हम लोग बात करते हैं, the role of parent for child who is coming to the age group of 4 to 12. Again, the same three I'm talking about, the same three group of parents, and what type of role these parents are actually performing for the child who is between ranging between 4 to 12 years. Number one, 4 to 12 years. See, when they are in school, they are probably into UKG, and 12 years is 6, again, almost as 6 to 7 class. So UKG to class 6, you take it this area. अब ये UKG से class 6 तक, most of the teachers we have taught them, and we know what is the behavior. First of all, they try to play very innocent. So they require love and affection from you. At the same time, their health and hygiene also needs to be taken care by the group of parents, what we have talked about. But in many cases, these things are compromised because they are fascinated towards, in today's generation, they are fascinated towards all unhygienic and unhealthy things basically. क्योंकि उनको खाने में भी क्या पसंद है, बर्गर. उनको खाने में क्या पसंद है, उनको आजकल मोमोज. Today also we had the PTM and one parent said, sir, you have made the home cooked food compulsory and it is giving me a lot of trouble. हम बोले कि ma'am, why it is troubling you? Her answer was that we both are working parent. So the moment if you open the canteen, cafeteria, make it operational, I'll be relieved. Just imagine, आज के जो parent हैं, for them, their own job is more important, and they are providing food, home made food to the child is not important for them. उनके लिए ये important है कि आप कैंटीन खोल दीजिए, and they will bring money and they will enjoy. Health is compromised. So when we talk about the health and hygiene, oh, this is all a dictionary word. But when it comes to the school, they expect everything from us. जब बच्चे सॉरी जब बच्चे अच्छा खाएंगे नहीं, जब बच्चे अच्छा खेलेंगे नहीं, so do you think that they will be able to study properly? I don't think so. I clearly understand that today's time the child is not being given attention from all three parents. Whether it is talking about the foster parent, we talk about the biological parent, or maybe the role model parents. Role model parents, which are they had the time very less which they are spending with the child. The mostly they are spending the time with the biological parent. This is the story of the biological parent which happened today itself. So the parent was insisting again and again कि नहीं सर कैफेटेरिया खोल दीजिए बहुत आराम हो जाएगा। बोले कि आप मेरी आराम की छोड़िए, आप अपने बच्चों को 4 रोटी या 2-3 पराठा जरूर भेजें, rest I will see what to be done. Similarly, food and nutrition, this plays an important role because this is the major ingredients. The science teacher, those who are there, you understand the minerals, the vitamins. It is not reaching to the child in a appropriate proportion. So the new problems are cropping up. Now, between 6 years to so class 6 to class nursery or KG student, you will find they get tired very fast. The moment they come from school, they feel that they cannot. They are not actually walking. They are not cycling. They are not using. You can say other means to like go for the offline games. So mostly they are involved in the online games. So all these what they are doing, they get exhausted. और ये एग्जॉस्ट जब हो जाते हैं तो प्रॉब्लम ये होती है कि उनकी पढ़ाई में मन नहीं लगती है। कोई भी बच्चे अगर एग्जॉस्ट हो जाएंगे तो कैसे पढ़ सकता है? नहीं पढ़ सकता है, बिल्कुल नहीं। आई रिमेम्बर व्हेन आई वाज in 2010 had given a proposal to one of the owner to have a AC school. I was criticized. I was criticized that you are going to spoil the students because the students do not require air condition. They don't require AC buses. What is the use of this? So I had given that, see, the AC is no more luxury. I am actually proposing to go for the AC buses or the AC structure. The reason is in a city like Patna or a city like Lucknow, Kanpur, Varanasi, I'm talking about the big great cities of the country, and we have maximum out of that. So the traffic is very uncertain. In सारे जगहों पर traffic बहुत uncertain है, and most of these cities are having continental climate. That means they are having very high temperature during summer and very cold conditions during winter time. Lot of rainfall during the rainy season. So the temperature, weather conditions are extreme in these areas. Under such condition, if the child is traveling 40 minutes, 45 minutes, they will be reaching exhausted. मतलब आम जो है ना वो आम पकने से पहले सड़ जाएगा. So if they are reaching your school, they are left with less energy, and therefore either they will sleep, they will not focus on the academics, and a lot of compromise will be done. So this is the reason why the food and nutrition plays a very important role. You need to provide them the nutritional foods, the foods that can sustain them. Well-researched program of food should be given to them so that they can sustain the energy, and this can also help them to have the good and healthy life, hygienic conditions. Perceptions and concept. अब ये एक important है perception and the concept role of parent for for the child 4 to 12 years. ये perception और concept जो कौन देते हैं बच्चों को, we are providing them as a parent, and all three types of parents they give. I'm talking about again the biological parent also creates a perception and concept they provide it to child. Similarly, the foster parents also they provide perception and concept to the child. And the third also they do so. But how the perception is created and the concept is created in the mind of the child? When the child comes to the category of 4 year and plus, तो slowly उसकी जो affinity है towards mother and dependency on the father slowly reduces. क्यों reduce? क्योंकि 4 साल से पहले for everything the child was dependent on the father and mother. So up to 4 or 5 years you can say for any child The superhero is the father, and super, you can say, lady is the mother. There is nothing in the world which the father cannot do, and there is nothing in the life what mother can't do. The most beautiful lady in the life of a child is mother, and the most handsome and the most able person in the life of a child is basically dad. अब यहाँ से जब 4 से 12 साल की सफर शुरू होती है बच्चों की, तो परसेप्शन जो है वो थोड़ा चेंज होता है. Why? Because now the child is sitting in classroom, he has little bit of knowledge, he has little bit of wisdom. अब ये wisdom is little bit खुरापाती. The child starts thinking that the child sitting next to me is basically bringing a very good lunch, and his lunch box is so nice. मुझे मम्मी प्यार नहीं करती है. मम्मी ने मुझे वो लंच नहीं दिया जो ये बच्चा लेके आ रहा है. So the concept starts changing. You know, similar thing happens with the father also. The child thinks, my father has brought me to this school, has taken my admission, and we are traveling in a maybe Maruti car, and the child who is sitting next to me is coming in the BMW or maybe a high-end car. कितना अच्छा होता, मेरा पापा ये होता. Now slowly you see the dependency has decreased and the child has started comparison, comparing their father parents with you. Comparison starts with everything. That is the reason you will find a, there is a disease called kleptomania. So this also occurs in this age group of child, 4 to 12 years. बच्चों को जो पसंद आने लगते हैं वो लेके घर जाने लगते हैं, बिकॉज दे फील दैट दे कैन नॉट अफोर्ड, और इवन इफ दे अफोर्ड, व्हाई टू आस्क समवन, लेट मी अरेंज. तो ये एक प्रोसेस होता है जिसमें क्लेप्टोमेनिया दैट इज आल्सो involved with this age group 4 to 12 years of age. That is the reason the perception and the concept we need to work in this area. और यहाँ पे बहुत सावधानी की जरूरत होती है फॉर ऑल थ्री टाइप्स ऑफ पेरेंट्स, वेदर यू आर ए बायोलॉजिकल पेरेंट, यू आर ए फॉस्टर पेरेंट, और यू आर ए रोल मॉडल पेरेंट, टू काउंसिल द चाइल्ड. कीप ऑन टॉकिंग टू द चाइल्ड. यू नीड टू इनकलकेट द मोरल वैल्यूज इन द माइंड्स ऑफ द चाइल्ड. हम लोग जब छोटे थे, सो आई रिमेम्बर वी यूज टू लिसन लॉट ऑफ स्टोरीज. दादी, नानी, घर के बुजुर्ग, गांव में जो हल चला के आता था वो किसान, they used to sit together for hours and used to narrate stories. आप लोगों को कितने लोगों को पता है आई डोंट नो, बट जब धान की खेती होती थी, धान का जब कटनी होता है, तो कटनी के बाद जो उसकी रिमेनेंस है दैट यूज्ड टू बी स्टैक्ड एट द हाउसेस, और ये दशहरा का टाइम में लोग वहां बैठ के आग जलाते थे और घंटों कहानी किस्सा ये वाकया चलता था. एंड दैट इज द मोस्ट ब्यूटीफुल टाइम. नो टीवी सीरियल कैन मैच दैट. दोज हु आर कमिंग फ्रॉम दैट एरा, दे कैन अंडरस्टैंड कि आम के महीने में आप जब पेड़ के नीचे में बैठ करके पका हुआ आम लोगों के साथ बैठ के खाते हैं, ना प्लेट है, ना आपके पास कोई टूल है, बट यू आर एंजॉयिंग इट. दैट्स द मोस्ट प्रेशियस टाइम. एंड unfortunately we have not been able to give this pleasure to our generation, our coming up generation. ना ही उनको कहानी सुना पाए, ना उनके साथ बैठ पा रहे हैं. So these moral values are definitely not passing from parents to child. कहीं ना कहीं अमर चित्र कथा खो गई. कहीं ना कहीं वो जो कॉमिक्स इंद्रजाल या मैनी लाइक नंदन is lost. So I think that these needs to be brought back into life. So that will inculcate the moral values. Next is the role of parent for teen, that is 13 to 19 years. अब हम ये तीनों जो पेरेंट्स हैं उनकी बातें करते हैं एंड द रोल ऑफ टीम. सो सबसे पहले अगेन द फर्स्ट थिंग, दिस इज बेसिकली द एडोलेसेंस अबव. इसमें बहुत सारी चेंजेस बच्चों के अंदर में होती हैं, जिसमें सबसे पहला जो आता है, उनको बहुत सारे अफेक्शन एंड लव के साथ केयर करना पड़ता है. क्यों? क्योंकि दिस इज दैट ग्रुप विच इज मोस्ट वल्नरेबल. दे आर एक्चुअली वेरी मच, यू कैन से, इनके अंदर में इमोशंस काफी अधिक होते हैं, इमोशनली वेरी वेरी चार्ज population, and what they are looking for is that one side they feel that they are grown up, and another moment they pretend that they are still child. तो इनके अंदर कहीं ना कहीं एक बचपना भी होती है और एक बढ़ते हुए का उग्र स्वभाव भी होता है. Example, those who are parent of this age group, you will realize if you allot some assignment to your child, कि जाओ बेटा सब्जी ले आओ, या जाओ बेटा तुम बाजार से ये काम कर लो. If they don't have to go, they simply say, "Hey, पापा या मम्मा, हम इतना बड़ा थोड़ी हुआ कि हम ये काम करें. Something will happen to me." And you take your step back. कहीं सही बात तो नहीं है. And they easily camouflage you. But at the same time, अगर उनको कुछ चाहिए तो वो आपके गोद में आके बैठ जाएंगे, आपको प्यार करके. They will exploit you. So they are very clever. And they are so adorable, these adolescent period child, 13 to 19 years of age, that they need double the love you actually are giving to the younger one and the child. उनको बहुत affection की जरूरत है, and that only a parent like you can give. You means teachers. You don't have to insult the child. Please, this is my humble request. बच्चों को जब आप डील करते हैं एज अ फॉस्टर पेरेंट और एज अ रोल मॉडल पेरेंट, बिकॉज यू आर नॉट अ बायोलॉजिकल पेरेंट व्हेन दे आर सिटिंग इनसाइड द क्लास, always remember you need to give respect to them. If they are having problem which you know, try to address it alone. Don't address their problem in public. I met one child, he was very upset. He said that, sir, I don't want to participate in games. I said, why? Because I had gone to play chess and sir did not allow me. He said that you तुमको कुछ नहीं आता है, अभी तुम अभी खेलने लायक नहीं हुए हो. Now this child of class ninth felt offended because these all things were conveyed to them in front of their batchmates. तो वो उनके बुरा लगा और सही भी है. Now my dear friends, you need to understand, when we are talking about any such acts which is done by us, always remember, if you are teaching in a co-ed school, so the boys, they don't want to get humiliated in front of girls, and so are the girls. We need to be very delicate when we are dealing with them. Remember that they possess false perceptions because they are not mature. And this false perception is very dangerous. If you are saying anything, what you mean to say and what they understand may have lot of gap, unless until you are well connected with them. So in such cases, your love and affection heals the wound of scars what you have given at the time when actually you are dealing them in class. Similarly, health and hygiene. There are students between this age group who don't care about themselves. उनको लगता है कि नहीं, what they are fine. So many times you find this age group child not willing to take bath regularly, not willing to cut their nails willingly, because they have seen all these monitoring being done by their parents strictly when they were in the previous slide or previous to previous slide. That means toddler and child up to 12 years. अभी उनको खुली छूट मिल गई थोड़ी, क्योंकि मामा ने भी सोचा बच्चे बड़े हो गए, पापा भी नहीं सोचते कि बड़े हो गए. सो दिस इज द टाइम व्हेन दे स्टार्ट कॉम्प्रोमाइजिंग विद द हेल्थ एंड हाइजीन. उतने अपने शूज को पॉलिश नहीं करेंगे, अपने शर्ट को 2 दिन पहनेंगे, दे विल नॉट गो फॉर क्लीनिंग ऑफ देयर अंडरगारमेंट्स. तो बहुत सारे इश्यूज हैं. कॉम अपने कॉम्स को क्लीन नहीं करेंगे, अपने ब्रश को सही से नहीं रखेंगे. एंड द गुड पेरेंट्स गेट्स इरिटेटेड विद दैट वन, द बायोलॉजिकल पेरेंट्स. But we don't have to be irritated. We cannot afford. So what we can afford is we need to work with them, try to counsel them, and then probably we can make them understand how important health and hygiene is. Same with the food and nutrition. खाना एक ऐसा चीज है जो बच्चे नेग्लेक्ट करते हैं उस एज में आकर के, एंड दे वांट ऑल द थिंग्स with like किस एज के बच्चे. I'll tell you, if you agree, probably you share it. What is happening, especially this age group, they don't want to eat food which is healthy or good for them. They want to eat food which is costly, appears costly in the market. For example, if they want to go out with you, they will try to see the menu card and try to find out which is the costliest item. अब उसको ingredient नहीं पता है, but वो cost देख करके, because they feel very high level of pleasure and satisfaction when they are thinking that they are something different. And how they can make you feel something different with the high cost value products, or maybe the uncommon food items. Like I remember one child had come to me, he's studying in my previous school. So he said, one chain of restaurant open over here. You know, sir, in that restaurant particularly, they are serving octopus. Acha, is it so? So to tell me why you need to eat octopus. So this is very uncommon. But like, okay, it's uncommon, but why octopus? Is it having very high nutrition value? Is it going to help you to win maybe some games, or the maybe the octopus uh, meat will help you to maybe get 100% marks in your exam? No, sir, nothing like that. But you know, I'll be the first one who will be having it in Patna. So this pride of being winner or to be first is the major, you can say, the force of attraction when we talk about the food and nutrition for this age group of child. I request my teachers and my educators that in all such cases, kindly keep on tempting them towards their cultural food, about their nutritional values, how these are going to help them to grow and all that. Now, perception and concept, which I again said earlier also, okay, in बच्चों की जो 13 से 19 ईयर्स की जो परसेप्शन होती हैं, जो इनकी कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्रिएट होती हैं, अगेन इट डिपेंड्स ऑन पेरेंट्स. इसमें एक खास रोल होता है बायोलॉजिकल पेरेंट्स के. फॉस्टर पेरेंट्स के रोल बहुत कम होते हैं, एंड रोल मॉडल्स के फिर बहुत अधिक हो जाते हैं. द रीजन बीइंग, you never know whom they are going to take up as a role model parent, but whatever their inclination is, they are going to have the perception, and the concept of their mind will be formed accordingly. And the fifth one is the moral values. So in this age group, जब बच्चे teen होते हैं, तो emotionally they are very charged. So if you are giving them the good learning, if you are giving them the good observation, the moral values will slowly develop, but not by preaching, but by seeing the things. When they see you that you are practicing it, like for example, if a teacher is teaching every day that your soul is important, your perception is important, your dress is not important, and next day the same child is finding the teacher scolding the child who is very good in studies but in not very good uniform. So his perception gets shattered, his moral value gets changed. I remember when I started teaching in the school where I passed from. So I had many teachers who taught me. I had a different views and vision for them. But the moment from a student I become teacher and started sharing the staff room, the perception towards my those old teachers, it took hardly 1 week to change. For example, if you are worshipping, maybe, or maybe if you are liking somebody who is maybe your ideal, for example, maybe in today's time, if you say that X person is your ideal, and if you start staying with him for 1 month, you will get to know about all sides of that person, all concepts. And then you are forced to think about whether you are correct with your concept and perceptions or not, or does it require any revision? This is, I think, we need to look into this one. So, moral values are very important, but by preaching, it won't work. By practicing, definitely you are setting up an example for the students, and the students will follow it and may also pass it to the next generation. Let's go for the next slide. This is addressing the adolescent issues. It is the teachers, it is the parents, and teacher as a parent. We need to address the problem what the kids are facing and adolescent issues they are going through. We need to protect them that no child should make fun. I'll again give example over here of a school which is there in Calcutta. I have seen this one, the GD Birla School. A child of class 7, a girl child, had a menstruation period and she had gone to play outside where her batchmates, they realized that the child is having a problem. So they all circled this girl and took her to infirmary. They did not make fun of the child. When they cordoned the child, because there the PT uniform was white skirt and white shirt, and these kids they found that the girl child was having stain in her skirt. So they carried the child, they helped the child. Now, what does it show? It shows that the school management and the teachers over there collectively must have been addressing the adolescent issues regarding the child. So they are well trained and they have done this type of drill in past. So this issue was not a very big issue there. If we can do such things in our schools also, that will be a great thing, especially in the co-ed schools. And emotional and behavioral changes. This is again the very eminent thing that we need to address when the child is into this age group, adolescence age group, and the teens up to 19. That is, emotionally, they are very charged. They are going through the biological changes. So you will also find changes in the behavior. Sorry. You might have noticed that in the post-COVID time, बहुत सारे बच्चे बहुत इरिटेट बहुत जल्दी इरिटेट हो जाते हैं. They have lost the patience. They are in the post-COVID scenario, impulsive behavior is very common, which we are finding it. So this impulsive behavior is there because they have been maybe uh, staying in one environment, and probably they have not got the attention what they have been seeking for. Dear teachers, dear educator, and my dear friends, the school is not a place where the child is only coming for education or for academics or getting marks. They are also coming over here for relieve their pressure, change the environment what they are getting at home, They cannot change the biological father, so they want to come and then be in the shelter of foster father like a teacher. They cannot change certain things that they are looking and they are coming to you because they consider you as an adult father. So this emotional and behavioral issues needs to be addressed only and by the teachers and educators. I have taken this issue today because many a times we get humiliated, we get, you can say, substandardized by the parents, those who are the biological parents. But we should not forget when the child shines, everyone in the society, including the parents, they are compelled to come and praise you. Maybe in last 10 years they have never come to say you thanks, but when the child attains good in life, they thank you from bottom of their heart. They thank you from not only from their mind and heart, but also, I don't know if you can see the happiness that to the tears what rolls down from their cheeks down. So we need to be little bit sensible. We need to be little bit alert whenever we are dealing with the students of this age group, because out of three parent, you hold the two important role, and these two are foster parent, and third one is the idle parent. Let's go for the next slide, which is probably the last one. Yes, the possible solutions of all these. You, as a teacher, need to be in the role of parent as a teacher. You, as a teacher, has to be in a role of a mother teacher, and we all need to be in the role of an idle teacher. Now, we go to the first slide where we started the P factor. You know, this P stands for parent, this P stands for permanent, and this P stands for possible. It is you who make the things possible. So you are parent who is a possible parent. And with this, I think we are at the end of with the conclusion. Please, next slide. We can go with the conclusion, sir. So concludingly, it's not on, it is one. O-N-E, why E is missing. So one can point out that the parent's role holds the key importance in the teaching and learning process, as what to accept and what not is guided only by the parent, nobody else. So let us take up a challenge as a parent and make the school a good home, a second home for the students, and make the learning hub working quite vibrantly under the leadership of CBSC, Center of Excellence. And therefore, I thank all the participants who had joined me, although I was 2 minutes late and 2 minutes early, I'm winding up. Thank you very much for attending this one. Let's go for the next slide. So please move to the next slide where I am thanking to all of you, especially Dr. Rajiv Ranjan Sinha sir, Mr. Mukesh Raj, all my friends, the people, those who have attended it and has given me a good listening. So thank you, all of you, for bearing with me. Thanks. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy being a parent. Enjoy being a teacher. Good day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank, thank you, sir.
Okay.